Hello, guys. This is Samir again. I'm the founder of Financial Market Leadership Institute, and we help you achieve leadership careers in financial markets. This is again a presentation I thought of making from a long time. And the topic of this presentation is what is visible and proliferate won't get you a job, and what is invisible will actually get a good career. Now, what do I mean by this? I am myself pretty active on social media, and these days I see a lot of discussion on stocks and where to invest, various stock tips. Every influencer is trying to give some definition or the other on finance and financial markets and trying to introduce to you various concepts. And predominantly, if you check the narrative, it's all about where to invest, at what levels, at what price, which stock, which sector, etc. There is a lot of commentary going on indices and individual stocks. Market first went up for about 2 years and then recently collapsed, and most of the mid caps and small caps are now down by 50%. So if you see, the mood on social media swings between optimism and pessimism. And a lot of students who are connected with me actually touch base with me asking for details on various securities, what they should trade, what they should not trade. Some have even gone ahead and opened derivatives account. And SEBI, although, is trying to now clamp down on retail trading, because as per SEBI's report, 91% of derivative traders have made loss in the last 2 years. In fact, in the last many years, the measurement is only happening now. And there is a whole sea of influencers on how to make good returns on stocks. That so predominantly the whole social media and the narrative is on which stock to invest, which stock to not invest, which sector to invest, which not to invest, etc. Now, beyond all this cacophony and investment talk and influencers, what I fundamentally believe is what is not visible to you, okay, which is invisible. I feel those things are hugely valuable to you. For example, which stock is going to make money is valuable if you are an investor. But if you're a student trying to make a career in financial markets, then the process of how to buy stocks, how to buy bonds, how to buy currency, commodities, etc., is more important. And understanding the whole chain of order management, order routing, order matching on trading venue, for example, an exchange, the whole business of trading and how trading industry is organized, who are brokers, why and how do they carry orders to the exchange for matching, how does exchange matching takes place, how do orders in the exchange get converted into trades, what are the games traders play, how does the exchange manage to do surveillance, how does clearing corporation get in and do risk management, how do brokers implement risk management, how does margining take place, how is capital adequacy calculated, how is real-time adequacy is calculated, how real-time risk management is done, and how at the end of the whole transaction value chain clearing and settlement is done, who are the various parties that are involved in clearing and settlement process, and how is clearing and settlement actually taking place. According to me, this transaction life cycle and value chain is much, much more important to understand if you are a student or if you are an early enterer in the financial markets. The whole business of buy side and sell side processes is far more important to understand than individual stocks. If you really want to make a career in equity research or stock picking, then you need to have a very holistic view of what is good, what is bad investment, and that too across asset classes, for example, bonds, stocks, commodities, currency, etc. Mere small discussion on stocks or following stocks is not going to help. You need a much, much, much more holistic approach to finance, financial markets, and capital markets. As we know, financial institutions are fairly interconnected, and capital market is the heart of financial markets. So, the whole capital market infrastructure is divided into investors, traders, speculators on one side, which is essentially buy side. So you have portfolio managers, you have fund managers, mutual fund managers, asset managers, hedge funds, etc. who send their orders via the brokerages to exchanges. So this whole business of sending the order is order management, trading and risk management. And then comes the second part of the piece, which is execution on the stock exchanges. And then once the orders are executed and they become into trade, they result in positions, and then the positions are taken to the clearing corporations and they are settled via clearing members and custodians and also depository and depository participant. This part of the business is called post-trade risk clearing and settlement. And this is much more important to understand than discussion on individual stocks. With exchange as a center, actually you need to master the linkages. And if you see, I have a slide on various players in the market. So there are speculators, brokers, traders, exchanges, market makers, investment bank, arbitrageurs, regulators, merchant bankers, and a whole plethora of investing institutions and HFT and algo players, etc., that comprise of the trading fraternity and trading industry. And then you have the IPO bit and the clearing and settlement bit, comprising of clearing members, warehouse, depository, clearing corporation, banks, depository participants, custodians, etc. And then there are some other players also. For example, there are specialized risk service providers, trusteeship companies, and a whole lot of tech companies that provide solutions to the whole industry. Now, the understanding the interconnectedness and how this whole marketplace comes together with millions of traders who have never met each other, never seen each other, and yet they transact so beautifully in a faceless way in this whole market, and the whole market still retains its sanctity, and day after day it does clearing and settlement thanks to the big daddy clearing corporation in between. So the whole business of RTGS, delivery versus payment, payment versus payment, and this whole clearing and settlement business also need to be understood. What I see on social media is nothing of this sort is discussed, simply because all of this happens behind the scenes. I mean, no market maker will come in front to tweet how he's bringing liquidity on the table. No HFT or algo player will come and talk about his algos. But these days, 60 to 70% of the orders on the institutional side, on the exchanges, are placed using algos. And so if you are a starter in financial markets, you must know about these algos. You must know what HFT players are doing. And mind you, stealth is their major advantage. It's a major ammunition. So they are not going to reveal any of these strategies. Yet you have to understand what these people are doing. And so FMLI is all about this whole market, this whole interconnectedness, understanding the capital market in a lot more detail than you actually understand. And what I've seen is most of the job opportunities are in capital markets, especially on the sell side, which is the clearing and settlement side, and the whole industry, which is organized to support buy side in their transactions. And I see that students are completely blind to this sector of financial markets. Why our flagship course, which is Advanced Capital Market Program, helps? Because anything that you trade or anything that a broker arranges or an institution trade, even your first transaction will go through all these institutions. So brokerages, clearing corporation, market makers will touch the order, clearing members, depository, and finally, exchange, which is the biggest piece. And the issue I have seen is students do not understand any of these, leave alone understanding the whole interconnectedness. Now, if you see, the world of trading is actually divided into several parts. So you have the whole world of exchanges, ECNs, dark pools. Dark pools are execution venues where you don't exactly get to see the market depth and you don't know at what price, how much of volume is waiting to transact, just as you see in exchanges. Exchanges are called lit markets, and so opposite of it is called dark pools. These are specialized execution venues where there are a whole lot of liquidity available for matching. Then there are world of institutional clients, the hedge funds, mutual funds, asset management companies, portfolio management companies, etc. And then you have brokerages and other sell side institutions, the brokerage arm of investment banks, the trading arm of investment banks, etc., that also belong to the world of trading. And then in a country like India, there is a whole world of retail trading, which is very, very big. There are more than 3,000 brokers. Now, the whole problem when I interact with students is look at this green dot here, me and my trading. And they think that me and my trading, they understand trading using some small app, like Zerodha or like Grow or ICICI Direct. If they are able to use that, they understand trading. No, my friend, it's not that. Actually, these apps are highly simplified to cater to retail. If you are part of capital market and if you are expected to make a job here, a career here, then you must understand this whole business and the whole interconnected and interdependency amongst these, because millions of transactions happen on a daily basis. When I was in Delegare, about 5 lakh trades we used to do on a daily basis, 5 lakh orders. There used to be more orders which used to result in 5 lakh trades on a daily basis. Today, my hunch is a large broker like Motilal Oswal would be doing 30 lakh trades per day. Now, if you are wanting to become part of this vibrant capital market, you cannot just rely on me and my trading and the knowledge you and your trading gives you. You need to widen your horizon. Okay, so this is the world of trading and this is the breadth you need. Now, understand that it is only trading that I talked of. Okay, similarly, you have the whole world of risk management. I wish I had a slide on that also, and then the whole world of clearing and settlement also. So, if I were to draw a z-axis to this, I would perhaps label it equities, derivatives, fixed income, and all the other types of asset classes that are available to trade. So you need to be a master in this whole thing. Whereas the real problem that I have seen students is they have a perception that this is the breadth I need, which is their own trading. Okay, and this is the depth I need. Guys, this is really an ostrich kind of behavior, which when faced with problems, it puts its head into the sand, thinking that, if it doesn't look at the problem will just go away. No, my friend, it's not like that. The real financial market and capital market is very, very deep, and need to know much beyond your own trading, and you need to go much beyond your trading to understand. Okay, what you see on trading platforms is only 5%. The world of global financial infrastructure consists of exchanges, brokerages, buy side, which is hedge fund, investment bank, mutual funds, asset management companies, portfolio management companies, etc. Then you have clearing firms, clearing members, clearing corporations, you have custodians, you have depository participants, trading risk margining and settlement life cycle, which you need to be a master in. Now, if we talk of market infrastructure of global markets, it comprises of various institutions in every country. For example, in India, it comprises of NSE, BSE, NSCL, NSDL, CDSL, and then various other institutions. This is the most important financial knowledge that one can possess, and everything else, mind you, everything else is built on top of this knowledge. Good thing is that 80% is the same everywhere. So if you understand exchange in one country or clearing and settlement process in one country, you can easily extrapolate it and you can understand what is happening in China, what is happening in Korea, what is happening in the UK, US, etc. So somebody working in India in financial market infrastructure and understanding this can work in other countries, for example, in Canada, New York, London, etc. Our problem is that we don't pitch for global markets because we do not even understand our local markets. And understanding local markets is very, very important, because if you understand the local market completely, then this whole thing works on a template and it can be easily extrapolated. Why is it that if you are able to travel in Delhi metro, then you can travel in the same kind of metro in Bangkok, in Kuala Lumpur, in New York, in Paris, etc. You don't need any other knowledge. The names of the stations perhaps you'll need, but you'll be able to read all the signage and color codes, etc. And you can go on the right platform, catch the right train, and get down at the right destination correctly. Simply because metro, rails, and train stations and airports are also highly templatized. And same kind of templatization exists in financial markets as well. Our problem is we do not understand one, so we are not able to understand others. And how much time will it take for you to understand this on your own? My hunch is about 10 years if you're lucky, and working at leadership level, enjoying connectedness of institutions. So if you are lucky sitting top down, and if you have a top down view, it will take you about 10 years. So what do we do in FMLI programs? We teach you all this in a lot of detail because we believe that if you have to make a career in financial markets and that to pitch for advanced jobs, then you need to have this kind of knowledge. You need to appreciate this kind of financial markets. This whole thing should move like a movie in front of you. Okay, what is happening when somebody initiates an order, how risk management is done, how it traverses to the exchange, what does the exchange do to it, how does it queue, how does it stamp the order number, how does it match your order, how does it send back the trade confirmation, then how does it send the detail to the clearing member, how does position get calculated, how positions get reconciled, how are initial margins calculated, and how is clearing and settlement done. So this whole business you need to understand in a lot more detail. Now, guys, we cover all this in our flagship program. We call it Trading and Advanced Financial Markets, Advanced Capital Markets actually, and it's a certification available from FMLI. This is our flagship program. For those who are not yet ready with the Advanced Financial Market program, we have a Foundational Capital Market program as well. Now, I fundamentally believe that a lot of knowledge ladder steps are required for everyone to take his employability from current 30-40% to 80-90%. Okay. But this program, which is Advanced Capital Markets, should be your first stone and the most major stone. Okay. We went ahead and crafted this one of its kind, most valuable program in financial market that focuses on exactly what market needs and doesn't get. And we ensure complete clarity on essentials, and it cultivates the true leadership in you for financial markets. This prepares you for right kind of job, and I will tell you what kind of jobs. But I believe that this is the course that makes you a sponge for all future learning. Why is FMLI Advanced Capital Market Program most valuable? Because all exchanges and institutions and clearing corporations and depository participants globally work on the same principles. Okay. These principles are also very well documented, although not very well contextualized in Basel Committee of Banking Supervision guidelines. And if you want, I'll be happy to share with you a white paper on it, and you can go through or you can download it directly from the internet. So these institutions work on the same principles, only their architecture and mechanics differ from country to country. We went ahead and created this kind of most valuable program in financial market, which is a mix of market fundamentals, microstructures. Microstructures is also very important, by the way, if you want to join the trading industry. Infrastructure and important buy and sell side processes, straight through processing, etc. And we have incorporated the Basel Committee or Banking Supervision guidelines on market infrastructure institutions, their behavior and how they should be crafted. And we have used the same guiding principles as National Stock Exchange, Bombay Stock Exchange, NSDL, CDSL, they all use. So how these institutions are designed, how they are developed, how they function on a day-to-day basis, what are the processes, what are the key financial market infrastructure institutions like buy-side traders, exchanges, market makers, brokerages, speculators, clearing members, clearing corporations, custodians, depositories, DPs, rating agencies, and sell-side institutions, and how all these institutions come together. We go through this whole thing in a 1 month, part-time, 1 hour a day program called Certification in Trading and Advanced Capital Markets program. Now, just in 2 minutes, I will take you through the essentials of this program, just so that you can appreciate what is there in this program. So trading industry, buy side, sell side, dealers, broker dealers, how the whole trading industry is divided, what are the market structures, what is a code driven market, what is an order driven market, how exchanges are constructed, what is a hybrid exchange like NASDAQ, what is an order driven exchange like NSE, what is a code driven exchange like NASDAQ, how order book is created, how they are maintained, how orders are presented to the whole market, how order negotiations happen, how trading sessions are conducted, pre-opening session, opening session, continuous market auction, how is it done, how are orders matched, okay, how orders result into trades, this whole business around exchanges, brokerages, speculators, market makers, how market makers provide liquidity and supply liquidity to the market, order and its various properties, philosophy behind the order attributes, why market order is called market order, why an order book is called a limit order book, then how order driven markets function, how code driven markets function, what is rule based order matching. All we cover in part one of the market. In the level one of the program is also divided into two levels. So then how do speculators come forward? What are liquidity providers? How liquidity is measured in terms of depth, width, etc. Who are buy side traders? How do they function? What is the process flow? What are transaction costs? How exchanges create liquidity, manage liquidity, how volatility gets created, what are transaction costs, how this whole broker and brokerage business is organized, how they accept orders using FIX from global markets, how do foreign institutional investors send orders, okay, what are the various scams that happen. So for example, insider trading, how direct market access platforms are built, what is internalization, preferencing and crossing, and how exchanges and brokers they do market wide risk management when there are millions of traders who are trading. Okay, then we get on to margining details, how initial margin is calculated, how mark to market margin is calculated, what is maintenance margin, how var margin is calculated, what is ad hoc margin, exposure based margin, etc. And this margin is across equity, futures, options and futures, etc. And we in derivatives we study how span margining is done. So span stands for standard portfolio analysis, and it's a very high-end model prepared by Chicago Mercantile Exchange, which is used across 50 odd exchanges in the world. And the problem is students have not even heard about span. And when I recruit, I get very disappointed. And then the whole business of clearing and settlement, how the clearing and settlement industry is organized, how clearing members work. Okay, what are the different kinds of membership, different membership structures? What is their requirements to become a clearing member? What are the steps involved in clearing and settlement of debt, equities, futures, options, commodities, currency, etc.? How clearing house functions, how they are different from clearing corporations, how clearing corporations function, what is a settlement calendar? Okay, what is the role of a depository participant, a clearing member and a custodian, how positions are calculated, how margins are calculated, and finally how they are reconciled and how they are settled. Now, equity settlement happened through depository and depository participants. Cash-based derivatives are settled using cash, and deliveries-based derivatives are settled by creating obligations in the underlying equity segment. So, full transaction life cycle we cover over a period of 1 month in a lot of detail, and we see this through various perspectives. Okay, so we see it through the lens of history, technology, philosophy, what is right, what is wrong, what are the malpractices, okay, how brokerage firms are created, how clearing members are created. Remember, I've told you in several presentations that we wear a creator's hat. So we wear a creator's hat to see how this whole market is created, how it comes forward to allow millions of faceless people who do not know each other, millions of faceless institutions to transact with each other in a glitch-free way, where clearing and settlement also happens glitch-free, clockwork. And should there be a disruption in clearing and settlement, then what happens and how is it tackled? I believe for anyone who wants to make a career in financial markets and capital markets in particular, this is a mandatory program. Now, about 8 years ago, I gave an interview to Bombay Stock Exchange BSE Brokers Forum magazine, and here I have reproduced the article, and I have talked about the future of trust in financial markets. And if you see, there are a lot of institutions in financial markets and capital markets that are trust-based institutions and that are only there because they need to enhance trust. So, for example, nobody will want to lend their own money to industrialists or to businessmen. So there is bank that comes in between. It accepts your money as deposits. It enhances by underwriting trust, and then it in turn lends to businessmen. Similarly, nobody trusts counterparties. So brokers are there, exchanges are there. The responsibility of brokers is to only introduce a kind of people and institutions to the market. And then there are clearing members because people don't trust that the counterparties will settle their transactions without any disputes. And there are clearing corporations to take care of delivery versus payment aspects and clear and settle transactions by becoming a natural counterparty to all transactions. Now, in this interview, I have argued that once blockchain comes in and once people start trusting platforms, tech platforms, then a lot of these financial institutions' role will come down if they do not vanish. And this will have a considerable impact on job market. And AI has already starting taking away jobs, and this will completely revamp the market. Of course, the roles are going to be similar, but how they will be executed will be completely different from how it is being done now. And finance is only 1/5 number of people will be needed. And AI has already started those steps. Blockchain will even further move the needle towards this direction. And so this kind of knowledge is very important. None of these you see on platforms like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, etc. because nobody tells you that this kind of behemoth marketplace exists. But nobody tells you, but they expect you to know as an MBA finance student, as a student of financial markets, especially if you want to become a leader. And not only in financial markets, leave alone setting up of exchanges, brokerages, clearing corporation, etc. These order aggregation principles, which is used in exchanges, is also used by e-commerce platforms. For example, Amazon uses them, Flipkart uses them, or aggregation. Discounting platforms use, a lot of fintech platforms use. Now, if you want to build markets where millions of unknown, non-trusting people come together, for example, fintech companies on loans or P2P, etc., then you will implement models derived from brokerages, you will implement models derived from clearing corporation, etc. Because, I see them as building blocks, okay, like Lego toys. So if you understand how credit risk is managed using incorporation, for example, then you can move the whole model in your fintech platform or the fintech platform that you work for. Order matching algorithm, for example, if you understand, then you can do a lot of order sequencing algorithm servicing in Amazon, Flipkart, and other e-commerce companies. The whole business of market making and liquidity enhancement tools find direct application in fintech, bank, or distribution networks. The whole global clearing and settlement models find their application downstream in fintech companies. Okay, you need not study fintech and then come to this. You have to do the other way around. If you understand blockchain, the biggest implementation will happen in financial markets, and you can't do without this knowledge. Now, there's a clearing corporation in Australia called CHESS, Clearing House and Exchange Sub-Registry System, which is completely on blockchain. And all the clearing and settlement is now happening on blockchain, which will happen very soon in India as well. So the question is whether you are ready to participate in this kind of a knowledge base or workforce, or you want to stay away from it. Now, I told you that FMLI kind of skill is very important. Why? Because I continuously see this kind of job opportunities. Maybe wants corporate bonds to trade on stock exchange like platforms. Tomorrow you will have gold exchange, or the news item on the right, plans afoot for India's first coal exchange. Now, if you have to build coal exchange, then all the knowledge that I talked of that we do in Trading and Advanced Capital Markets program is absolutely essential, and you can't do without this kind of a program. You will only be watching things change in front of your eyes. If you do not understand how depositories work, if you do not understand how clearing corporations work, I mean, how are you going to create this kind of infrastructure? How can you participate in this workforce, especially at a leadership level? Now, anyone can join at a junior level and keep doing operations, etc. But that is not my point. My point is, if you want to join at leadership level. Okay, two more programs that will supplement you here, which I again classify as mandatory programs from FMLI. First is the Trading and Advanced Capital Markets program, which we already saw. And then we have certification in global listed derivatives. Now, listed derivatives program there are various educational institutes. There is no institute in this world that provides trading and advanced capital kind of program, except one I have seen. I think London Clearing House provides that course, which is very, very expensive. And provide. I have crafted this program personally because I believe that advanced capital markets is the program everyone needs. Now, after having done that, second most important program is the practitioner certification in global listed derivatives, because these days you cannot do anything without derivatives. And this again, by focusing adequately on clearing and settlement aspects also, and a lot of practicality aspects, this is one of the best derivatives programs that you can get. Again, I will take a minute to take you through the curriculum, because all the programs seem alike unless you dive down into the curriculum. So every program that you encounter will have a lot on trading in derivatives. So how to define derivative contracts, how to trade on them, how to calculate the various Greeks, delta, gamma, theta, vega, rho, how to interpret them, how to create various trading strategies for bull market, for flat market, or for bearish market, etc. So all that is already there. What and how is it different from other programs? Because we go down in a lot of excruciating details on the risk management side and settlement side. And believe you, if you do not know how to calculate initial margins, if you do not know how to calculate mark to market margins, maintenance margin, etc., in derivatives, then nobody is going to recruit you, or even if you get recruited by fluke, nobody is going to make you sit in trading floor and trade, because if you do not understand how much of capital will get blocked and when will it get freed, you cannot do any cash flow planning for derivatives. And if you are not able to do margin planning and cash flow planning and create a trading plan for yourself, then how on earth do you expect somebody to make you sit on trading floor and on trading terminal and let you trade? And settlement of derivatives is very important. So understanding the market structure of central counterparty, how delivery versus payment and how novation happens, how the whole infrastructure of straight through processing, institutional trade confirmation, affirmation takes place, how settlement calendar of derivative segment, how created, calculation of net worth, liquid net worth, how and when, till when clearing corporation allows institutions to trade, how it does minute by minute or second by second risk management, and how exercise assignment is done, etc., etc. So if you do not understand these aspects, then you don't become a wholesome derivative specialist. And because of that, you always have that imposter syndrome even if you get recruited. And mind you, recruitment is difficult because you do not understand it is completely. But more about derivatives later in another presentation, where we will take 30 minutes to only understand what you need in derivatives. The last mandatory program, although we have a lot of programs, is what I call as certification in practical capital markets, where I expect you to come and spend a few days on FMLI trading floor, understanding and doing the maths behind everything. So you trade, you calculate your position, you reconcile your position with the files disseminated by clearing corporation, calculate your initial margin, you again reconcile your margin, mark to market margin, initial margin, etc., with the clearing corporation and with the numbers given to you by your clearing member. You then go ahead and settle your own transactions, okay, and go through this whole journey. Come and experience practical financial market, spend 1 or 2 weeks in Pune and start with one weekend. Okay, my experience, this is what is needed to succeed in financial markets. None of these is discussed in social media. A lot of it is actually discussed in newspapers, but newspapers assume that you know already everything. So that is a problem. And I fundamentally believe that anybody, even if you're graduating from Harvard or IIM Ahmedabad, you need to go through this program. So envision a day where somebody passing out from IIM Ahmedabad will tell his employer, please wait for 1 month. Let me go to FMLI. Let me do this trading and advanced capital markets program. Let me understand the whole business of capital markets much more closely. Let me then spend, 3-4 days, 1 week doing the practical capital markets program as well. And then I will come and join you. So guys, this is a mandatory program for everyone, especially if you want to make a leadership career in financial market. Please ask for the brochure, get hold of the brochure and look at its content. It's really very well designed. Take it to your mentor, whoever your mentor is in capital markets, who's mentoring you how to make a career, and show it to him or her. And I'm very confident that they will tell you that this is the program to join. So ignore the cacophony that is happening on social media. Do not feel left out. Anyways, that is not going to land you a job. Everything that will help you land in a job is not there on social media. It's not there in any channel. It's not discussed in TV, etc. Everything works behind the scenes. Everything important hiding, and you need somebody like us to take you through this 1 month program to actually tell you and teach you how things happen. Okay, colleges also do not teach this because there will be a separate teacher required to teach trading, separate teacher for clearing and settlement, separate teacher for risk. And these teachers also, although they are very qualified academically, I see they have not created this kind of financial market infrastructure which I have experience of creating firsthand. So not only I know how things operate, but I also know how things operate this way only, and why New York you think operates this particular way. So history and context and philosophy is very, very important, and it's very closely intertwined with this. So please come to us. If you want to get this knowledge, please come to us. If you want to join top 10% of financial markets, and if you want to have a serious career in capital markets. Thank you very much, guys, for your patience. Good day.